Hello, hello, hello. Monday night. It is officially 9:02 on the Eastern side of the United States.
But I kept pushing, learned all the tricks. Don't just ask, direct it like a boss. Act like a senior dev, no fluff, no laws. Chain your thoughts, break it step by step.
Something. There we go.
Still learning the game, but every fail taught me how to elevate the name. Rich top AI, streaming live every night. Showing y'all the path, turn the dark into light. Yeah, we stacking the code, from the power, watch the future explode. Yeah, we stacking the code.
Now I think I got it. All right, how is everybody? As usual, I'm still getting things set up and actually been working on a few things before it came on live, and I was cleaning up.
Hit deep. That's the grind. That's the leap. Rich top AI. We don't sleep. We build. We teach. We keep it elite. New blood.
That should be hopefully working. I didn't test that one. So tonight, what I thought we would do is here we go. This is a project I call VidFlow, and my issue was, since I started live streaming, and I'm not a video guy, I'm learning all of this on the fly. I needed a way to take that 3-hour live stream and break it down, or have a way to break it down quickly, because time is my issue and I don't have a lot of it. So I have a full-time day job that is not a 9-to-5, so I'm not always home at the same time, don't always leave the house at the same time. So I needed a way to go through a 3-hour video, and after doing a live stream the next day, work on some clips to put out and kind of get in a flow that way. Your choices are, I think, pretty limited on, a specific workflow like that. You either got to use full-blown DaVinci Resolve, or you use something like Kindin Live, I think is what it's called. And none of those, they're your standard video editor, right? So I went to AI, and as I normally do, I first explained my problem, and we iterated on some ideas. I took a couple of those ideas, actually, created a new thread, and ended up at this one place, right? So my point there is I do a lot of planning, even if it's just getting the outline of the system and the flow of the system and the stack of the system, and then I'll start working on logic and that kind of thing. But where we ended up was this. So what I can do here, let me, 1 second here. All right. What I can do here is get back over to setup. There we go. So here is where I would name a live stream project that I'm going to import. You can give it a description. I would create that project, and then it's going to take me down here to my local source path, and I'm going to just direct whatever video I want right here. I would click import, and these things right down here are gonna basically are the steps of what happens. So you get, it's going to ingest it first. The AI is going to generate a plan. You're going to get some clip recommendations from the AI, and then you'll get this sequence renderer that will show it in kind of in order. So basically, after you click this import, what you're going to do next is you're going to get this presented with this screen. You're going to get a transcript of that video that runs on Whisper, local Whisper model, and I have the small, and then I have a backup bigger model if I need it. And the way this works is, which is kind of cool and makes this process, I think, pretty fast, is if you see in your transcript, well, first of all, you can just, scroll through the entire transcript. Clear this. We got the whole transcript. Yeah. So now I have the whole transcript here, right? And it's a lot. But what I can do is, if I know there's something in particular I talked about and I want to try to find it, so like Mandrill, which is a tool that I use with AI, I can click on that and it's going to filter me down to every time I talked about or mentioned Mandrill. So then what I could do is I could click on that and it's going to take me straight to that part of the video. Project Mandrill V2, because I have a separate Claude MD in there. So there, I'm talking about Mandrill. Same thing, any place on the timeline, it'll jump me right to that spot where I'm talking about it. Let them use Mandrill to. So this is going to help me, get to places in the video quickly and find out if that's something I want to make a clip of. So I have the ability to search the transcript, and then you also get this Smart Assistant, which is just an API call to, I think it's Haiku is who we're using, and it's going to give you pull out recommended clips based on it reading your transcript. So again here, I can click and it'll take me right to that video. It looks like it's working. And it is going to put my text of what I'm saying over here. Now, one thing I do have to fix here, you can see while this is playing, when I scroll down, which I'll show you. So in your transcript, it's going to follow the video. So it keeps wanting to bring me back up here every time it's rendering this on screen. So when I scroll down, then if I talk, it's way slow. See, it wants to take me back up. So that's one issue we got to fix right there. But yeah, these are all of the AI recommended clips. And then down here are thumbnails of the video, so you can do the same thing. I can jump right to those spots. I'm not. So what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna open Typora. I got it. That is annoying. That is annoying when it jumps me up. I'm not happy with this yet. Obviously, this is kind of chaotic. And I think what we're gonna do here is take this and maybe, I think what I need to do here is just hide this or show like I'm doing here with the transcript where we are containing it and not just listing the whole thing. So I think we need to do the same thing down here with these, is just put it in a container and then let me scroll within that container, because that's too much, way too much. On our video editor, we got to do some work here, but we do have kind of a cool little jump to, you know, you can jump to spots here in the video. That's right. So I got to go do. And believe it or not, earlier today when I was making some clips, I actually was using this. I didn't think at first I would, but it does help you get right back to, you know, a place quickly. Open AI Whisper, which we're not going to. It's pretty fast. It's not, you know, it's not terrible. So yeah, so then once you select your, so here you're reviewing your clips. You can create a clip here by the AI recommended. You can say, yes, that works. Nice workaround. I don't know if y'all. You can also down here, in this bottom so left, what it's saying here is, as I'm going through the video, if I see something I want to mark in, I can mark in and mark out a spot and create a clip myself. So, you know, again, back up here, if I did mandrel and I said here and I want to save this, I would mark it in, and then when I want to end it, I mark out, then I would hit create clip. All right, so this is and then what that would do is it would show up. Actually, it's going to show up here on the next page. When you go to clips, any that you send over from the previous page and any that you create are going to end up here in the clip bin. And this is where you can do some more trimming on your start and stop. You can give it a title here, which is going to end up being an overlay, or can be an overlay. You can rate this, you know, if you want to do that. You can approve this clip, you can reject it, you can also reset it. Like if you have it approved and you want to reject it, you can reset and then reject. This is cool right here because I use tags a lot. And to give you an example, do I have them down here? Yeah, like this clip here. If we jump to it, so we're selecting, just talking about, you know, context management basically in a project with using Mandrill. Is everything that we've done. Then I can tag it with a context in Mandrill, so then I could search for that faster later if I want to find another clip or find that clip later. Be the first context on this. So yeah, so here you would approve, adjust your clips. It's going to show you the ones down here from your list that you did approve. It's going to show your approved list, and you go to plan. You can again highlight which clips you want to bring into this, hit create draft plan. It's going to bring you to this sequence, which kind of lays out all of these clips. You can reorder them, you know, move them up and down in the list. You can change the overlay text if you want here as well. And then I give them the command content. And then when you hit export, it will take you to this screen. And I just got done adding this, which is a social media package, which just is going to give me the formats I need for Twitter, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Then I can change my aspect ratio here as well. I have the ability to burn my captions into the video. closed caption, and I have the ability to on my I do not know this terminology, but my brand screen, my loading screen, my logo screen, intro. There we go. My intro. I can use my music that I have already planned out. I can change my text title there. I can change if I want to do crossfade in between. We're gonna add some more options here as well. Then I can also replace the audio that's playing in the background of these videos with my audio on top of it. And then what comes out after you hit export sequence, you got a little preview player down here. You can open the video in a player, make it larger. You can open captions, and then you can also go straight to the file manager, which is where that file is saved. So that's VidFlow. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. It has worked. Now, you know, we're using FFmpeg, and you know, that is code determined. It's not, you know, it's not human level editing by any means, but it is functional, and I think we can do some work to make them look better too as we go. So the big thing here is that I'm able to pull out clips fast, right? Like I can find things in a 3-hour podcast or live stream fast, get to them fast by searching this transcript. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're gonna hack on this a little bit tonight. So the first thing I want to work on though, and this is probably going to be difficult, is in our editor or player here, I can't scrub. I think we're doing 15-second jumps. Sorry about that. All right, 15-second jumps, is it? Why do I keep going back? That's a minute almost, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's a minute. Actually, it's over a minute. So yeah, I can't, and it's hard to get it down. It's too sensitive, right? So I need a way to scrub and make this, again, I do not know the terminology of video editing, but I need to make this less sensitive and easier to jump to a specific time. So that is what we're going to tell Claude Man here and see if we can't get going. First, let me check. I think that context is right. Come on, there we go. Just do a quick context check. Oh yeah, we're plenty of room. Plenty of room. And the last thing that we just did was that social media package feature. So, did we save? So while we're here, this is Mandrill, and this is a tool that I use daily. Every project I build, every project build goes through here. So what we want to do is get to the right project, which is VidFlow right there. Let's clear that. Hide our filters. So this is all of our context from the project build. So if I go back here to this one, this is the very first phase 0, right? Like this is the very first context. And what this happened before we wrote a line of code, right? Like this was the first thing that we did. And this is how I start every project. So the plan goes in here as well as a .md file. And we track our build through here. That way, Claude, or whatever model you have connected to it, has good context all the time. I don't have to worry about how I say something or if I say too much. I try to say very little when we're doing things like this, unless it's, deep debugging and then I got to get involved. But as far as building a feature or something, I'll send them to Mandrill when I first start. They'll gather context, they'll read files, gather context, and then they're off to the races. So Mandrill has been a big, no way I could have what I have without that tool. No way. So what we're going to do here is already been working in that project. We're just going to have them save a quick context on that last feature we built, and that way it's documented and we know what we did. And I'm also going to tell them to go ahead and commit. So if we jump back over here to Mandrill, we should see yep, right there, just popped up. So that's it's saving a context. VidFlow social package export. So it's going to talk about the feature. It's going to talk about the architecture, talk about the UI work it did. Any files changed. This is important, and honestly, they do this on their own. Most of how they save things in here, they just do it because they understand what they're doing. They understand the tool. So yeah. So that's how we keep up with our projects from day to day. Say the next thing we'll work on is scrubbing in the player. So all I'm going to do here is describe my problem. Right, I'm going to describe what my issue is, and we're going to find out what are ways to fix this. What is that called? What is that called? I know what it's called. I'm gonna say player indicate. No, that's not it. What is that called? Got it. I got it. Let's say it a different way. All right, so when using the arrow, it skips for a minute. And when we're grabbing with mouse, it is too sensitive. Say it like this. What are our options? More control over scrubbing. All right. So yeah, I just told him that, you know, the mouse is too sensitive when I grab the slider. It jumps too much. When we use the arrow keys, it's jumping plus a minute. So that's just too much when we're trying to get, you know, exact mark in and mark out times. So anybody watching live, why don't you tell me where you're watching from? Or tell me a project that you're working on. All right, what do we got here? So what are our options? Keyboard control, left, right arrow, skip 5 seconds. There we go. Shift, left, right. Yep, that's what we want. Comma and period, that works. That works. All right, shuttle playback, J reverse, K pause, L forward. Yep. Yeah, I like that. Now scrubber improvements. You know what? That is something I meant to bring up. We're gonna shoot them a picture here. I don't know if it's calling this section the waveform. If it is, that's a bad name. Those are just the thumbnails. Yep, that sounds good. So we're going to say, yes, we want a global keyboard shortcuts that we just discussed. Left, right, 5 seconds. Shift, left, right, 1 second. Comma, period, frame step. And then we're going to get a dedicated scrub timeline bar, which will help. Okay. So while it is doing that, we're going to go talk about something else. Because all right, this is Squire, and this is my personal assistant. It's powered by Sonnet 4.6. That's the main agent. We also use Grok 4.1 fast reasoning to do some of the work behind the scenes, and any of the like search files, check email, any of the stuff that doesn't require a lot of heavy thinking or reasoning. And that change has been a huge help for me cost wise, because we're using the API, we're not using a subscription here. What I can do with this agent though is kind of cool. So first you have your traditional chat, right? I moved the chat input from the bottom to the top, which I like a lot, and it really has been helpful because I use this a lot for my day job. So I'm using it mobile. And when you have a mobile phone and it's setting up on your dashboard on a holder, for me the best place to see your chat input is at the top of your phone, because I use speech to text. So I can use speech to text while I'm driving. I'm not typing. And then I have a way to get it read to me as well. So so that's all pretty traditional, right? You know, text input, you got image upload, speech to text, and then I have a dedicated documents portion, and this is more of like a RAG style. So any documents that I have uploaded in here, which is using a Postgres vector database. So let's say that I want to, let me find something here. Here we go. So my Adura Max installation guide. So if I click on that, then it's going to give me a full text version of that, right? And what I can do is hit chat here, and what it's going to do is open a separate chat, and only this file is being loaded in, right, into context. So it knows this file right now. So I can ask it any question. So if I ask it a question that a lot of people don't know, and say, how flat does a subfloor need to be to install Adura Max? I don't think that's a question that an AI is trained on. And you can see here, so according to the installation guide, the subfloor needs to be flat to within 3/16 of an inch and 10 feet and 1/32 of an inch and 12 inches. And that applies to both wood and concrete subfloors. And then it goes on to give me a little tip here, right? That's a pretty tight tolerance, especially the 1/32 over 12 inch spec. Any high spots or dips beyond that can telegraph through the finished floor and cause uneven wear over time. That I'd probably need to work on a little bit, because this is I'm not going to say this is hallucinating, but it's kind of filling in some blanks there. That's technically true. But anyway, you can see my point here. So I have a way with this agent, and it's very helpful when you're a sales rep. You can load documents in and get really quick answers. So if I go back to this just to prove to you, and I go to right here, all subfloors should be flat within 3/16 of an inch and 10 inches, and 1/32 of an inch and 12 inches. So that's one feature that I can do with Squire that makes it extremely useful. Another thing that I did with this chat is I took, we're not using bubbles left and right side. That drives me insane. So I put everything in a card. So here is an example. Well, we'll just use this. So right here, I just pasted in this Carpathy's Gist website, right? GitHub site. And it went to the site and read it. Well, that is considered, one turn, right? So I gave it a message and it's giving me a response. And so I'm taking that and putting it in a card so it's contained, right? So what I could do and show you, well, I'll just do it right here. What I can do, if I wanted to save this, because this was a thing that I do a lot of talking with AI, right? A lot of iterating with AI. And you burn through a lot of tokens and you lose a lot of tokens, right? You lose a lot in these conversations because they happen fast, because these things just want to go, right? So they'll start building out really fast. And you might be like me and wanting to go slow it down a little bit, but still there's a lot of valuable information in what it said before, but then you kind of lose it. So with here, I can save it. So if I want to save that answer, I can hit this button right here to save it. It's going to bring me up to the tag section. So I can add a tag to it so I can find it that way. And then if I hit save, see this turn yellow. I go to my saved section, and these are all of the chats that I have saved in here. Okay. Here's my tag, so I could filter by tag: feature 5, memory 5, psychology. So all of these different ways, I don't lose. I'm paying for these, right? I'm paying for these tokens, so I don't want to lose them. So that's one thing that I think's kind of different than everybody else's. Let's unsave that because I don't want to save that. Now, another thing that I did that I really love is if I send it off to do something, what did I do here? Okay, you have another task. I have another task for you. Let's use Claude Code here. Let's review our security of, oh yeah. That's when everybody was freaking out about security and Mythos, right? So I'm like, well, let's check the VPS. I probably shouldn't show this, but I will because it's part of it. And we fixed it. So yeah, that's what I did. I'd send it off to check the VPS because this is deployed on my VPS, and said, look at it, give me a security review, and then give it back to me in our report format. So what I did is I created a way for a tool call for it to use to give me markdown, and it's formatted in a certain way. So this is what it looks like. So if I click on read full report, takes me to another screen, and then, you know, I get the information. I can, you know, then copy this. If I just want to copy it, I can save it as a PDF. And get opened on another screen, but let me bring it. Let me grab it and bring it to, where are we? 2, 3. There we go. So, you know, that's what it would look like, you know, in a PDF. Not saying the format's great here, but it's doable. And, well, there you go. That's what it would look like. Or I could save it in a markdown. So, just from the chat here, you know, I've got a way to save so I don't lose tokens. If I need it in a report format, I can do that. Something else right here that I use this a lot for my work, and just to show that, you know, this is a useful agent. Like, this is a very, very useful agent. I have these objectives for my day job, right? So I have to build displays or do presentations and build displays. They all get sent, you know, these displays get sent at different times to different dealers. They don't, I don't always know when they are getting there. So I need a way to track that stuff, right? And before, I used to have to do it manually. Or maybe I didn't do it at all. Maybe I just kind of winged it, right? But not now, because I got an easy way to track this. Did not plan this from the start. This is one of those features I built in where Squire can pretty much do whatever it wants. So it has a sandbox on the VPS. So it can spin up a tool, use that tool, and then it kind of goes away, right? So one day when I had these objectives, I just said to Squire, I need to figure out a way to track these. So all we did is created a JSON file. JSON-B files are awesome, by the way, because you can just store whatever in them. It wrote to its scratch pad. It has a scratch pad that it can write to, that so we can remember different things. Because this didn't need to be a permanent tool, right? This is a one-off, right? I needed to do this until my objectives are done. So it uses a scratch pad just to remember these temporary tools that we use. So I can tell it, you know, all I have to do is I come out of a dealer. I just got done building a display. I did my presentation, and I can tell it what dealer, what I did, and it will check these off. So, and here it's just giving me a review. Actually did this one today, all 3 done. That's the only one I have left. The rest of these are all done, right? So yeah, that's another way I use it for work. And I think that covers the chat. We have Google Calendar integration. So a full calendar here. Squire can, from, you know, my natural language, write to my calendar, add calendar events, delete calendar events. It can check my email. It checks my email every 30 minutes. Let's see, what else do we have? I use list. I use these quite often. It's been a little while. But basically here you can track, you know, create a list, just a standard list of things, you know, like if you wanted a grocery list, Just create a grocery list and you can check things off. Features that I want to add to Squire, I kind of track those in here. So can be very useful for work. Same thing with notes. I can just create notes, and Squire can actually pin notes. And this is another way, like this was an objective I had last month. Squire was tracking all of this for me, and we just had to pin notes so it knew what was going on. And let's see what else we got in here. Reminders. Yeah, reminders. That is complete. I did do that. So yeah, I can do the same thing with reminders. Squire can, again, through my chat interface, create reminders. I can come in here and manually add reminders. It can track those reminders. It's actually pretty good at that. Like if I have a reminder for tomorrow, my little evening check-in will sometimes say, hey, don't forget about. Let's see what else we got. We talked about docs. So yeah, so here's where I can just upload documents and they're vectorized and put in the database. And all right, so here is where the magic happens. So Squire has its own unique memory system. This is entirely my design. I studied as much as I could. I read and researched. That's a better way to say it. I researched how human memory works, and I try to mimic it the best I could do. But the main point here is, just like any memory system, when you talk or you chat with it, we're extracting entities. We're extracting through the model. The model's running all of this. Sonnet's running all of this. It synthesizes and determines what to extract. It will take those extractions, those entities, and assign a salience value and a decay value to it. And that's just purely based off of its synthesis of that conversation. So what you end up having, and you also have an emotional value to it. So what you end up having is a way to not hold on to memories that aren't that relevant. That's the idea here, is that you don't want to remember a grocery list the same way that you remember, the day you got a job, right? Those are two different values. So that's what we're trying to do here. And then we also have a graph table that we use to show connections between those different entities. And I can show you that here. So this is obviously not all of the memories. Can't show them all on here. It would be too much. But you can see how, we show relationships between things. These are how, these memories are connected. Wilf Command is another project I have. Let's see if we got anything out here. So yeah, like this was this one's hanging on out here, but this was one of the first ones, right? Like I was in Lynchburg. I think this was probably, I click on this. There we go. Now I can expand it out. So yeah, so you can see how everything is connected. And this is actually a freaking great example right here. Wow. All right. So this is, I made a cold call to a builder in Lynchburg. Frank Good Builders. All right. So, and then I made some notes about this. The son, Frank, by the way, is retired. The son is Seth. All right, it's related to some metadata about Frank Good Builders. And then this is an actual note. The user had a successful cold call meeting with Frank Good Builders. Right? So I think this is a great example showing how this is really, really working, right? Because this is exactly how this happened. Now, we got to show all. But yeah, this is just a representation of how we're relating different entities with each other and how showing how they connect and tying all of it together. So if I go back up here to the dashboard and we look at this living summary, this is the meat and the main part of how this memory system works. It takes these different reports, personality, relationship, goals, interest, and projects that I'm working on, well-being, commitments. It mixes all of that together and we generate a report. It synthesizes a report or a memory, synthesize a memory. And that is what's injected as context when Squire comes on. So when it comes on, it already has this knowledge of Brian and an understanding of what's going on. Now for context, the context window, context management, we inject that package in, that living summary package in as a memory. And then we, as you chat here, it has that context over here, and then it has the last 10 messages, right? It'll load the last 10 messages here. So that seems to be working pretty well. I haven't had any issues whatsoever. It's there's no like loss of flow or anything like that. Let's see. All right, so I really didn't use Squire today. So that's why I have no extractions. But this is where, your daily extractions would show up, and I can show you that in a minute. Again, this is that pin note. So when you got notes, this gets injected as part of that context too. Any list that you got going on, it's going to know about those. And then this is like an overall beliefs, and this is changes, as that synthesis happens over time, and it takes all of this other context into account. So that's the memory system. And you can see if I go to, there it is, timeline. This is actually where, any extractions happen. This is where you can come and see what's actually being saved. That is Squire. And we're going to do some work on that a little bit too. But now we got to get back. I spent a lot of time on that, didn't I? Now we got to get back to our original vid flow. All right, so it says it added the scrubber, custom timeline scrubber. And we got our keyboard shortcuts now. So let's go over. Let's check it out, man. Let's check it out. All right, so I should be able to hit arrow, and it's 5 seconds. Yep. Shift 1 second. Yep. Now, did he do this one? No, he didn't. He didn't implement the JKL. It's okay. But here we should be able to go very small. Yep. 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 Okay. And do we have our waveform? Yep, right here. So oh yeah, that is much better. Much better control. And then I could come up here. Wait a minute. Why is that? I need to be focused up here. Yep. Can't be. All right, it's working now. That was weird. It wasn't working there for a second. That is much, much better. So, for example, if I started here, this is Mandrill. This is a tool I built. So I should be able to. This is Mandrill. This is Mandrill. All right, so this is Mandrill. This is a tool I built to build. Oh yeah. With AI. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. So here we go. Oh, it works. Nice. I gotta give him a little love, man. You know, gotta give him a little love. Because one day, maybe not my lifetime, I don't know, but one day, they're gonna remember this, man. You better be nice to him. All works. Nice job. Let's get him to save a context. So it'll work. Yeah, I said I keep the context clean, but when they do good work, get them hyped up a little bit. Get them locked in a little tighter. Okay, now, what do we want to do next? What do we want to do next? Do I have a way think here in clips? I know y'all don't know what I'm talking about here. I'm thinking through something. I'm thinking if I want to totally be able to get rid of these clips, if I need to. All right, here's what I'm thinking. I have a video that I run end to end, right? Just like this one. I have exported some clips, and right here they are, and all done. Okay. But what if, because this is already loaded, there's no sense in running Whisper again. There's no sense in running the AI model again. But what happens if I want to come in and make some, different videos, different clips from the same video? There's no good way to because if I do it that way now, what's going to happen, they're just going to keep getting added here, but here I can uncheck them though. So if I did that, Go to sequence. Create draft plan sequence. Ah, it's already there. So I can do that. Not a problem. But what I need to do though, I think I need a filter. Let's go back. So if I come back here to find, search the transcript, all of this is still going to be loaded. Which is fine. Because if I don't hit create clip here, but they're still going to be on this page. So what needs to happen I need a way from right here to clear that path from here to the end. Yeah, I think that's the answer. All right, so how do I want to say this? Let's set up the scenario so it understands what I'm talking about. I don't know if I spelled that right. It's not A, is it? No. Oh well. It knows what I mean. Think what it's gonna say. Yeah, I want to clear them from there. This clips bin needs to be cleared. The clip bin needs to be cleared. That's all it really needs to happen. And I like to do this at the end. I'm going to say makes sense. Just because I'm forcing it to really kind of think about it, right? Don't know if that makes a difference or not. Probably doesn't, but it makes me feel better. And that's all that matters. And that it works. And I've not had any problems with it not working. Be honest with you, my only limitation is my imagination and my ability to accurately context what I need. Meaning, can I explain it well enough? Well, I can tell you that there is there is no one watching live. There's no one viewed on X. No one's viewed on YouTube. And how about, where's Twitch? Where did Twitch go? Did I lose it? I think we can close that now. Let's put that back full. Not here. There. Trying to find Twitch. I must have closed the window. We can just open it back up, man. All right, now let's finish this out. Is there... Oh, I've had one person. It says I had one person view on Twitch. But my point here is Monday nights. I've done this, I think this is like maybe my 5th Monday. Mondays are a bad night for y'all. I don't know what y'all are doing on Monday nights. But it ain't watching me. All right, clear all. All right, let's see. Clear all. There we go, baby. That's what we want. We are just... I'm going to say this. Whoever is saying that Claude or Opus is dumbed down, I'm not... How do I say this? I'm not saying that somebody hasn't had a bad experience, because I think that can happen. I had something weird happen, right? But to say that this is like a epidemic thing, that it's, you know, to make it, it's not true. I've not had one time Opus feel like it's dumber to me. It'll get dumber if you let the context window grow. It'll get dumber if you don't tell it what it's supposed to do. It'll definitely assume, so you need to be a little more detail oriented. So I just I'm not buying it. Not buying it, because I do this every night. So weekends, more than that. Just don't see it, man. I think it's a coordinated effort is what I think. I think there's certain accounts that start things, and then humans are so predictable. It's why social media has done so well. It's why algorithms work so well. It's because humans do the same thing over and over, and they're driven by the same things. It's why AI How do I want to say that? Choosing my words carefully. It's why AI is if it's in the wrong hands, could do a lot of damage. Just psychologically to humans, right? I'm going deep now. We're going deep. There's nobody on. I'm going deep. Yeah. Anyway, to go back to my point, I think I was reading. I think there's certain accounts that will say certain things, and then by human nature, people that want to either get recognized or be in that same group or be a part of a group, or are looking for acceptance in a group, they'll be more easily persuaded, and they kind of jump on the train, man. You know, the train starts off slow and they kind of start walking along beside it, and then they see it that train's going to go somewhere, and they're like, hey man, let me get on board, let me get on that train. So yeah, I think it's pretty easy. What I'm saying is I think it's pretty easy to get social media to take sides. I think it's pretty easy for a company to start a trend. If you got enough money and enough influence, the right people, man, you had no idea you were going to get this tonight. It's a shame. It's a shame nobody's in here. I'm spitting some truth. So I'm old, man. I've seen a lot of things. I believe what's in front of me, right? I believe what I can control. I've been fooled over the years, and you start learning, right? If you don't learn, that's when you're in trouble. All right, let's get off the soapbox and the discussion of human nature. By the way, I will say this: humans are driven by fear. Okay? If you learn anything, learn humans are driven by fear. Fear of looking like a fool. Fear of not knowing something. Fear that they're going to make the wrong decision. You know, fear that they're not going to be able to pay their bills. It's fear. That's why social media is so good, because they can play on that fear. All right, I really am done. Let's get back to Clear All. Yeah, let's check it out. We didn't test it. Does it work? We saw it there, but does it work? Let's go. Clips. Clear All. Yep. Yeah, boy. They cleared. They are cleared. All right. This has been a very successful session. But so I have kind of a clip here. I'm going to actually try to produce one live. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, get back over here. All right, we're going to talk about what we did tonight. This is VidFlow, and what this is a way for me to quickly create clips from a live stream. So if I have a 2-hour or a 3-hour live stream, my problem was time and getting used to using a tool that I don't spend time on using, like DaVinci Resolve or Kindin Live, I think it's called. I think that's another one. I'm on Linux. Or scripting it from, pure Python. I can't do that. Now, I can write a little bit of Python maybe, but I can't. So I'm going to switch to Project Mandrill V2 because I have a separate Claude MD in there that's special for this project. So is it going to come up now? Is it going to come up? Oh, it is coming up. It looks like it's working. But it's going to put my text of what I'm saying over here in this block. So I never hesitate to start a new thread, and if you watch me long enough, you'll see that I'll start threads quite often. How should puzzle pieces actually be generated and sliced from chapter image? This is an issue with Claude right now. I know this is what it just did. It's gonna ask me a question. Two options. Use CPU mode. The tiny model is fast enough on CPU, 1 to 2 seconds for short clips, zero hassle. Install CUDA 12. Needs Pac-Man. Try CPU first. See, so it asks you a question and then it just decides to do something. So the question is, did it work? It did not work. Claude, let's try. So there's nothing else that I can really do to feed it different context. What else do we need when we open this up? We need a visual. So the question is, did it work? It did not work. Claude, let's try it over here. Is it going to work in Typora? Try it. All right, it says it's work. It's going to work. Claude says this is going to work. So the question is, did it work? All right, it says it's work. It's going to work. Claude says this is going to work. So the question is, did it work? It did not work. Claude says this is going to work. So the question is, did it work? Claude says this is going to work. So the question is, did it work? So is it going to come up now? Is it going to come up? Oh, it is coming up. It looks like it's working. But it's going to put my text of what I'm saying over here in this block. That's what it should be doing. All right. See if it comes up.